Whoop, whoop, whoop. What's up to that? Got your Grand Blue Fest bingo card ready. Yes. But the finger exercise for the lecture from yesterday. And then we'll go into the second side project, which I don't think should take too long. It's mostly just read writing, text file, and then taking input, dude. Oh, I missed it. How long does it usually go for? At least for uh like the content. 'Cause I remember usually there's like a lot of cosplay stuff. Yeah, I was just debating whether to still play because the original schedule, right, is was I was gonna play games Monday, Friday during the day, but since I'm gonna take the night stream off to play games, we code. Round 11. Jeez. Guess I'll just be refreshing the Grand Blue EN Twitter throughout dinner and then after, and then like throughout whatever I do later. Oh, the ad one. Good pull. Is this? Should be this one. But day two is usually like mostly cosplay stuff. The cosplay competitions and stuff they do. Which, to be fair, like the cosplayers that show up to that are nutty. I've seen some of those Grand Blue Fest cosplays that show up for that stuff. That shit is top notch. So this one. Get a kiss from the. They're just sitting there watching it, crying. Could have been me. Should have been me. That's when you buy the galleon plushie, right? And then you just like give yourself a forehead smooch with it. Just like it's not fair. Okay. Goes in here. Oh, right. So return it as a string. So you need to convert it to the self to that. And then this one's just easy. Self dot radius plus c dot radius. And then return the radius, the circle object. So this one would be circle radius. And this one returns the radius. So it should just be return string self dot. Is that right? It was. Well, I don't know. I mean, they're both pretty easy. This one was really easy once I figured out. I think the hardest part was like making sure things were written correctly. So now we test it. Works. I mean, those are really easy, but still. Still worth learning, or at least like repeating. Look at what's on the return the Euclid. Right, this card. Okay, I did that. Add a method to the circle class that allows you to print a circle object. Implement a method in fraction class that operates works print a power b works after you define it on fraction. Let's just make power. Casting it as a float would have been something I would have forgotten. It allows you to print a stuff, stuff. Oh, because it prints the circle object itself. Except that you're still multiplying. So weird. Why are we multiplying the dashes by? Oh, that's just weird. I don't know. It threw me off because it had like this dash multiplied by the south dot radius, and then it gives you the center point, and then two more dashes or more dashes based off of the center of the radius, and I was like why? Like what's the point? Because like the question is just add a method to the circle class that allows you to print a circle object. So it just prints this. And so I'm sitting here like, what is this gonna tell the user? It tells them nothing. How you're gonna do it is like, does it need the print parentheses? Oh, nice. Like, makes more sense. Okay, this is something I've never tried. Well, I've never tried it before on a return. Because usually the return. Yeah. Oh, I did try. I have done it before, actually. Ah, never mind. I just forgot. Huh. I didn't think I had done it before. I guess I did it once, just kind of off the cuff, which is probably why I just naturally did it there. But yeah, the F streak doesn't have to be after like a print. Which this one would be the same thing. Which I mean, I honestly could probably just combine, like just smush this into that. It's the same code on the initializing and stuff. It's just the adding and the string that's like different. Nahar. Why did it take space? There we go. Oh, it was off because of the commenting out. Yeah, that's fine. All right, we did the warm up. Man, my room is. I need to go put my. It's like it's cold again. That's actually like that corner that my desk is. It's two outdoor walls. So Installation on my walls are bad. So this like corner is humid. It's not as cold as being outside, but it's colder than if I was sitting, yeah, inside a regular room. Definitely. I know a bit about uh, well, to be fair, it's been like 2 weeks since so I probably completely got everything because I haven't actively used the stuff after. Read read through this. This like okay, so it's make directory. Uh, so that you have to bake the directory. It would be oh no, it's it has to be what the file path, right? I I kind of fumbled a little bit. I should have saved the. I'd planned on starting this like earlier, so I didn't save the test files I did. I was messing with it over the weekend, and I don't remember how I did it. Wait, we'll read this. I'll read this article again from the beginning. Probably with statement. Poker play. Open. Not close. Will never. With statement. The statement makes sure the file is closed. To this outside the stuff are open function. You know, in hindsight, I might have to make a class or an object that's a dictionary calculator. Transfer. Copy the file. Back to you. Listed. writing. Create a new file, open it for writing. Writing append to the end of the file. This. Binary. Open a disk file for updating. It's kind of interesting that the extra mode, but I guess it's just because of the way Python looks at things, right? If you don't make it a string, it kind of, and you're not using a dot operator, you kind of have to use, it's gonna like expect a variable to have some sort of value attached to it. But you can't just put like just regular W. It was throwing me for a bit of a loop again when I was looking at some Stack Overflow stuff earlier about it, where people had like string W, and I was like, oh yeah, string W. I understand. All the right expects one Python data of other type. Have to cast it as a right integers. As script. Expect the specify writing files explicitly specifying. Anything like the file mode table. You open the file. All right, because if you write to the file, it like overwrites what was in there already. Mistaken. You can just cast it as a list if you want it to work like that. You can files all at once, for instance. And read it all into memory. Get away with it. Program will likely crash or become slow. Parse the file line by line. Read a file. Read the open file as an iterator. Oh. be honest, I don't even know why I'm surprised at doing a for loop. Like, it should have just made sense when I was gonna be when I was like read line by line. It's like, well, obviously if it's gonna read line by line, you have to do a for loop on it. Deleting files, creating directories, moving files. So put it first. Right, to check if a file exists, file function. Oh, I understand. I didn't cast it as a string. It has to be a string, right? Oh, unless it's I do this. I've done it before. Like when I first like read this through this, like for some weird reason everything clicked, and then I was able to make a file, a text file in the thing, and then do whatever, and then now like my brain's just too dumb. But it should be it's a directory. Right. Oh, okay. It's starting. Like, oh, this case. Yeah, I kind of understand now what it is. It's like you go here, you check if it's a directory. If it's a directory, then you tell OS make the file. Uh, I just don't get why this is popping up because this didn't pop up the last time I did this. Oh, if it's a directory, then in here, do like with open. Then with hmm. It put it in there. It didn't put it where I wanted it to though. It put it in the side projects for some weird reason. Unless I need to put another. No, yeah, because it has a. Hmm. How did I get it to write exactly where I wanted it to write last time? Recently learned that there's a 10-foot tall, 10 feet tall alien woman in the newest Yu-Gi-Oh anime. I'd like to say I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. Like at all. Oh, do I need to do? No, it's still not putting it where I want it to go. Some weird reason. Like it should be going in here, but it's stopping in side projects for some weird reason. Maybe it's because probably not. But no, yeah, it still keeps putting it in side projects. I don't really understand why. Also, I'm kind of surprised that Yu-Gi-Oh! The anime is still going. I felt like I feel like you could only do a card game so many times as an anime until you're kind of just like, man, I can't believe I somehow figured this out before. And then I was so dumb to just. I guess because I was like, oh, it's so. I figured it out so fast. I was like, I figured it out fast again. Now my brain's just like, how the fuck do I do this? I don't really need. I'll just flag it true. But it's still not putting it in the right. Not sure why. Highly surprised they're being 10 feet tall, but there's been aliens in reference to the flatwoods. Thanks Duel Links for introducing characters. There's the flatwood. Costume makes like the monster. Huh. I don't know, to be honest, I stopped watching Yu-Gi-Oh! After like the first one, so all I know is like the Egyptian stuff. About it. Shadow Realm. Ooh. What do I do? That's what it was. Okay, that was the kicker. I was like, well, if it's just gonna stop at side or like, what was actually what was probably happening is it was seeing it was seeing I was going, all right, yeah, the writing file is a directory inside of side projects, and then I was telling it to write the test.txt, and so I went, well, you wanted to check if this was a directory, but we're still in this folder, so then I just wrote it in that folder, because I wasn't telling it to open the writing file folder to do it. That makes sense. That makes sense. Oh wait, because I need to make it. All right, the file exists, so there needs to be a. All right, that did not work how I was expecting it to. Oh, because I need to have it like as a separate thing. All right, write this as. Because I appended the other hello. Yeah, it's because I didn't tell it to open for to be able to read it. Hey, I'm assuming you can't combine like read and write. Again, the same thing. R plus. Aliens were technically introduced in GX and many to the OG, but they were non-human. Full-blown cast member. Fourth series. Yeah, that would explain why. I honestly just anything that didn't have to do with like the first series, the original. If Buster Blader wasn't used and didn't make people go, "Oh shit," I probably didn't watch. I'm not gonna lie. Yu-Gi-Oh was one of those things where it was like I got kind of into it, especially because like I used to have a Shonen Jump subscription when I was younger, and so I would read it, uh, in Shonen Jump and get some free Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And then at some point, my brain just went, Magic the Gathering is better. I just gave up on you. Okay, so this is kind of like I mean, you guys couldn't really see the. Well, I mean, you kind of could because you see the hello hello because I appended another hello for. Um. Hmm. Does this mean I need to put in the n, the slash n after every line so that way it'll be a new line? Hmm. Trying to think of how I want to do this because this is gonna be a program for my mother. She wanted a program that she could like type in. Well, she just wanted to type in what she cooked. I was gonna make her like make it be like she has to type in the date and then what it is. I doubt she'll use it much. She'll probably use it for like a week and then forget. You guys betting play cards every while. Imagine you get to use this. You have the sticky lands. Look, those stinky lands have won me many a games. When I got back into it when I went to university, was when they started doing all the like commander stuff, whatever, right? Like the guy that you have on the side that you gain tokens and then you get to use like powers. And I bought the like they had like the super like what this like super basic one on sale and the dude in there like I took the that was like a 2 pack with 2 decks and I took the mountain the dude of the mountain because I always play like mountain. I always play red green, red or green, red and or green, like, but usually just red because that usually has card types that I like. And I did this stupid thing where the deck came with 2 monsters that would scale on damage and HP based on how many mountains you had down. And then it would be I don't remember how I somehow gave him flying and like you couldn't like get past them. And then he had a thing that just made his made all your lands turn into monsters that are equivalent. I think it was like equivalent to like the mount like all the like the mountains that you had like I don't know, it was really stupid and it worked way too good for how it should have. I used it to beat some dude's like token deck that was worth like $2,000. It was really funny. He was kind of annoyed. I just laughed. To be fair, it only worked because he wasn't expecting it. It didn't work after that, but it was still really funny. I don't know. Magic. I just go. You just look at the cards and you go, man, this gives me a stupid idea, and you can make it work. Oh no, Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just like I think Yu-Gi-Oh has the equivalent, but it's like too many hoops. I don't know. I watched when she gets into her like Yu-Gi-Oh duels phases, and I'm just watching her like chain link like 6 different cards together, and I'm like, I want nothing to do with this. Granted, I mean, I say this like Magic the Gathering's any different nowadays. I've seen some people play Magic and they're just chaining shit together for 30 years, and you're just like, you guys gonna finish the game today? Looking at you, blue. Looking at you, blue deck users. And you, artifact decks. Artifact decks are like for that. Alright, so let's see. The very simple thing would be ask for the date with giving a format of like month, day, year. Because I would want it to sort by month, by number. Well, no, it'd probably be like year, month, day, or by year, and by month. I don't know, it's sort like that. It might sort like that. I have to mess around with it a little bit. And then the food made that day. Because it would be something like I need to just hash out, like, start putting the other ideas down on paper. Quotations are on paper. It'd be like the first question would probably definitely be: are you storing? Are you adding to the list, or are you removing from the list? No, the frosting got on my. You got. I think it was my old man went out, and he got like these pastries from BJ's, and I grabbed like these little like they're like when there's like a line of small cinnamon rolls and then like two small like circular danishes, and I grabbed one of each to test them all out. Pretty good. And I just realized that the frosting of one kind of got on my desk mat. It was already dirty enough as it is because I'm a lazy bum and I haven't cleaned it in too long. Time travel is a plot point of 530 years. Third season went back in time for nefarious purposes. Yeah. Is that the one with the motorcycle? Where they like which is the one that they did they had their like Yu-Gi-Oh duels on motorcycles. I remember seeing a bunch of memes about that one. 5 days in the motorcycles. Yeah, like it sounded familiar because I used to have like one of the discords I used to be in was people just pop up memes about being on fucking motorcycles. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Oh, be the variable. We call it choice for now. And then it would have to be like something like wait, well, first I'd have to cast it as like and then it's like if They're specifically designed for those motorcycle duels. Motorcycles can autopilot the whole tracks you can find. Oh, sure, sure. You know, still not, no, obviously not dangerous. Obviously, iRobot didn't teach us that anything could possibly be dangerous about auto running vehicles at all whatsoever. Never. Ever. Equals. Then it. And it does. Or. Check. Wrong with this one? Oh. No. I'll put pass or not. It's like the bare basics I'd want this to do. So then I need to make a function to. So I'd have to ask like how many times you would want to how many times like how many things would you like to add to the list? And then there'd have to be a function that gets called in case it wants to do multiple times. So I have to rewrite the damn thing 20,000 times. That and just to keep it separated so it's easier to like mess around with. Then probably still give the user a choice on if it wants to check after. I would also need to make a function that would always be a string. There's nothing for duels outside of set arenas where you do need to actually drive on top of the card game though. Hey guys, we made this arena that's like, super safe because we said add motorcycles to the thing. So make sure you guys do your duels in arenas. Also, the people, I duel you for that parking spot. Take it to the highway, fuckers. Let's go, throw it down. Some dude is just trying to like make it to work. It's like, Oh, dang it. Stupid kids are dueling on the highway again. 6-car pileup. I can't believe this. Make a fuck shit for these. These are meant. And then, what was the other? I had another one in my head. Oh. Uh, did I just do a function for the file read write? It's not like it'll get called more than once. Hmm. Does that look what I meant the other day? That I'm a lot better at commenting when it's like code that I'm actually trying to build instead of just like doing the lessons. Oh, I think I should also try to learn how to make it be able to search through the text file. I know I can do that. I feel like it should be possible. They'd have the foresight to make highway specifically for those duels, so if any of them got into a turbo duel, special name for the motorcycle duels, outside they could be taken to those so they don't affect normal traffic. Oh, that's a bitch. That's kind of funny, honestly. Oh, because word's not actually. Oh, all right, never mind. This actually turned into a bigger project than I was. Same thing as what happened to the calculator. As I start the project, I'm like, ah, this should be easy. And then as I start thinking about what I want it to do, I'm like, okay, there's like 20 different things I need this thing to do. Because it needs to. Sorry, if I got a little quiet in reading, so I'm trying to read through like Stack Overflow things for some stuff that I have questions on. Be a little quiet from time to time. It's like I want it to make a function. User wants to add more than one item. Make a function. Double check the input the user meant to put in. Make a function to check of the input. Well, this isn't really a function, but oh, I guess I'd also need. Okay, I'm making it. I'm skipping like way too many steps ahead, so we're gonna at least start and write out what things it does. All right, so it's like For adding, it would be and then here it would literally just be like wouldn't be able to make a choice again, but follower specific. It would be and then it would be like I have to check if they would like to make a new list or like an old list. Oh, there's like half a dozen different things I'd want it to do. Like delete a list, check an old list, make a new list. Oh, then I have to be like, what would you like to call the list? Man, it was way easy. This shit's way easier when I don't have to make it store a file. Holy shit. Just trying to make it store information to a file just ups how much that I gotta pay attention to so quickly. I have to learn so many different things. It's pretty cool. It's kind of fun. It's a little like, I guess in a way it can be kind of boring because like when I go quiet, I'm either reading things on Stack Overflow or just like through whatever. Like I'm just googling info, or I'm like staring, trying to sort through my thoughts, what to do. Okay, we'll leave this specific one for later. The all one's not that hard because it's literally just writing the code to read uh the file. Because it would be like at this point, this is just like the really rough edges of get it together. I'm just trying to like think about every single sort of input I would want from the individual. Okay. Uh, eh. This would be like the choice here. Then this one would be choice. Uh, and it would be like if choice. Yeah. Honestly, I'm just gonna make the file stuff like functions. Even if it doesn't get repeatedly like used throughout the thing, I think it'd just be easy just to have it separated in case it like breaks that I can just because like because then I need to. Hmm. It's because like since it's something really bare bones, the should probably just stick with having it make directory with wherever the like the actual program is. Because I was thinking about like having her choose what directory it's in, but I think having it pull up the GUI where you can like choose physically is probably a little bit more advanced than what I can kind of wrap my head around. Because I haven't even gotten anywhere near learning how to do that. Um, we'll probably just have it when you run it, probably check if the directory exists. Well, it would probably have to be like, it would have to ask if you've made a directory for it. That or just have it when it runs like just I could even probably just cut that part out and just make it like be like uh if os path dot is directory name. It'll then just like put everything in that directory. And then if not, it'll just make the directory. So I'm trying to make this for someone who doesn't really know too much about navigating around computers. I guess I could make it start up by being like, please make sure that program is in a folder that you are okay, or that may it would make it easy to keep track of the data, kind of deal. And then be like at the beginning, right? It would just be like, it's like is program in folder in a folder that will make it will be easy to keep track of like the lists, right? That you want to do. If yes, it can it makes a directory, goes through with it. If no, then it just like you just raise exception and then just terminates, right? Would probably be a case. Yeah. Hmm. I also would have to have it check if it's because like say that she doesn't want to do like a bunch of different files, but then it would be like hmm. I am making this like 20 times more complicated than I originally. Because to be honest, I kind of have to because my mother doesn't really know her way around like stuff like this too much. So this tool could very easily just be useless to her. Which, while it is a side project to predominantly learn how to like read and write to files and save information, I also would like to have it be somewhat useful for what she wants it for. I'm thinking that like maybe like from her point of view, it would be well, no, I mean it'd still be pretty easy because it would be like, uh, is it a new month? If yes, uh, what is the month year, right? And then have the uh, well, have it check if you've written it correctly, which that would be kind of hard, honestly. Well, actually, no, not really. I could probably just it's actually pretty easy. Because I'm thinking of like how much complexity I can take away from it, so that she won't have to worry about it. Right. So, like for instance, if I want the file to be January underscore 2025, for instance, then it would be like, is it a new month? Yes or no? Yes. What month is it? Blah. January. What year is it? 2025. Then I would just have it concatenate. Well, basically, probably just do an F string of like, uh, you know, list name equals F string, curly brackets, January, like month underscore, curly brackets, year. And then be like, make file, you know, kind of like what I did up here, right? Like just have it open folder slash file name dot text comma x, and then with that right to it, right? Like just be like if blah 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 file path, if os dot path dot is file blah blah blah, like whatever is false, then open it with that. If it is true, then I would probably just make it mention file already exists and then just have it go to the next block, which would more than likely be, deciding whether they wanted to add to the list, check the list. I'll leave delete from the list as like kind of like the last thing to do. Actually, that makes things a bit easier than what I was originally thinking, because it would be like if you wanted to delete a list, right? So like, say you went to the folder and you saw there was like, say it's like you made a list in January 2024, then there's January 2025, and you're like, well, I don't need January 2024 anymore. So that way it could go in and list out. You could go back and be like, delete this file, right? Delete January 2024, like underscore 2024. That'd make it a lot easier. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I like that. I like that. So we'd have to make a function. Write it down. I guess I should put these at the top. Let me make a new file. Put this in here. Because I don't want to get rid of this. I will not make the same mistake twice. Yeah, it didn't really make much sense to put what I want to work on at the bottom of my code, because at here it's not too big of a deal, but once this code gets longer, which it's going to, I then have to scroll all the way down to the bottom and be like, what was I working on again? I was also trying to order this, and it makes sense. Or like, kind of like an order of what to get done. Date and oh, because then this way we don't need the year here, right? We could just leave it as month date, right? Because the file itself, like the name of the file, will have the year in it. That's one less thing that they have to worry about. It'd be, but then that way, like in the thing, it would be, 01 20 or whatever. Actually, I probably wouldn't even need to do that. I wonder if there's a way I could just pull the. I could probably make it just return month as a value. Because they don't need to see the. Right, like I just have it print file created, return month, and then have that go for it. I also kind of make a chat about it. I think I'll put that. Hmm. What else I wanted to do? We kind of have like a decent out. Just do some of these functions. Wouldn't really return anything. I guess it's not in a loop. So I mean, it'll probably be in a loop. It's, you can probably add that exit tool. Honestly, at the 3 hour mark, I'll probably like shift speeds and go maybe do some gaming or something. Just kind of break it up. My brain, like honestly, my brain's kind of like tapping out a little bit. I can feel it already, even after only 2 hours. All right, so we have then for that, it should deal with this. Um, yeah, I figured that was gonna be happening again. What's up, Jimbo? I'll jab Billy if I see it. That was a prank. Debatable. Debatable. want this to. Not like done. What have you been up to, Jimbo? How'd your stomach handle the Taco Bell aftermath? Wouldn't really need this. Oh, I guess. Actually, like this function would be here because it's for a new list. This would just be. Been playing Valorant. That's a bitch. But why do you keep doing that to yourself? Okay, so this has basically just been completely replaced by this because the function can do it. Probably just make it return none. Just to give it something. Because I think it would error out if I. Well, to be fair, it also. Well, I don't think it would make. It wouldn't even make it here if it didn't equal new, though. That's why you play Valorant. Why'd you play in like I don't know, something like Marvel Rivals and play Jeff and make everybody happy? They're playing Valorant, making everybody sad. How you say no to Jeff? See, Jimbo, this I know you're not on the right path. You look at Jeff and you say no, and shake my head at you. I just shake my head at you, Jimbo. All right, so that's done there for now.
Hippity hoppity, you are Yubi is my property.
No, my UVs. You can take my brain though. It's kind of dying, honestly. We're not even like 3 hours in. We're not even 2.5 hours in. My brain's already dead. Should just play the game. Oh, but I need to get this started for sure though. Yeah, because we can just changing it to just be lowercase means I don't need to. It doesn't matter because I'm not gonna like put the choice back to them. This is strictly just for us. It's not like over here, right, where I want to. Well, to be fair, I probably could have also done it. It still more than likely wouldn't have mattered. Just make the element be lower instead of making it like a separate value for lowercase. But We'll figure it out. Also, let me save these. Roped. And then this gets saved. Oh, calculator. I'm like, wait, why isn't it pulling up the prompt? Okay, this I need to look it up there. The first function written. Oh, I guess I don't need the print. Do I? I forget that you can add a string to this. Find a test it. Make sure that works. Yeah. Raise the exception. Yeah, so let me just ask them. Yeah, I still need to make a directory check here. I think I'm just gonna like take that out of our hands, and then I'll just name it like make or like uh. Well, I'll probably end up making a function for that because, or at the very least, yeah, I think it'd probably be better. Like, even though it won't get like reused, it might be better just to make a function for it, just to have that separate in case I need to like alter that for something else. Trying to think of like how to split things off. Okay. Containerizes. Is that an actual? That's an actual word. I never knew that. Containerized. I've heard of containered before. Contained, containered. I've never heard of containerized before. I was just reading something. I was just double checking. Like, I wanted to see what people would say, but yeah, I definitely think for you make a function for it. Hmm. I guess technically I can make the function and then just have it get called in the new list function, right? Like for instance, this is in my side projects. Oh, oh, we test out, and I just make the directory, which I think is just ls. Make directory, my directory. Yeah, it's just os dot directory stube. There should now be. Wait, that's this. Yes, test tube. So basically, over here, it would be. I guess it could probably still keep playing. Well, yeah, it could probably still keep playing off of new, right? So it's like, So it would be like OS directory. We'll call it inner us. And this is a boolean. Return OS directory. So this way it's still returning the new back up here. So that way it'll check. And then here it'll be directory. This will get passed along. So then if you make a new list, it'll come back, it'll check if the directory is there. If the directory is there, it'll return the new, so then it can keep going. If the directory is not there, it'll make the directory, and then it'll return thing and make the new list. Then for here, it's if os.path. This is kind of like really bare bones, but it's I'm probably gonna have to like do some other stuff for it. Probably come back and like work on it and refine it once I get a better handle on it. Because I don't want to just leave it to OS path, even though it'll be localized. I probably kind of want to like lock it in place. Like be like path equals this and then go through with it. Is file list name. List with, I'll make it enough. Already exists. Do the open. Yeah, same. I'm gonna check. Are we gonna check our code though? I'm gonna check this one first. Oh, I didn't close the print. Alright, so if I run this once, it has made dinnerless. Then if I run it again, it should tell me it exists without making it. Okay, so that works as intended. Now, yeah, I'm still not like done here, and right, that'll be an issue for future me. Oh, they're not imported? Forgot about that. Oh, okay. Well, do we use Okay, so we can just okay, so we can just leave that as pass because I just want this to open without doing anything. Because I want to the file will get written out later. Oh well, technically, I guess I could have it return the list name, right? Oh, actually, yeah, that's actually kind of huge. Have it return list name. Hmm. Oh, so yeah, so it doesn't even get past this. Oh, so it's oh, this isn't. Just no. Hmm. Wait, that pulls from before. So it would have to be the other one. This one, but this one then pulls the dinner list and the dinner. Like it pulls all the files, and I just want. Oh, it's because it's printing the files in. Okay, never mind. I understand now. It's yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I understand. Oh, Deviant Nails. Hello, thank you for the follow. For the fellow coworker. Stream work is working. Thank you, thank you. It's not like really work, but it's. I'm trying to learn. I'm in the middle of learning Python. I'm working on side projects. It's going pretty well. Fairly trying to figure out, like, learn how to read write, get paths to files and directories and stuff. It's been pretty fun. But I hope your week's been going well. Trying that one. Oh, wait. Oh, they both do the same thing. Right, that one still don't think you recovered the brain cells you burnt on it. You see, the secret is if you just don't have brain cells when you start, then you don't have any left to burn. Then it's a net positive. Trust. That's the real secret. I used up all of my brain cells on gaming. So now coding can't hurt me. Except emotionally when I realize I'm dumb because I spent like an hour staring at my code wondering why it's broken, only to realize I misspelled something once. Definitely hasn't happened more than once. Thumbs up. Happened yesterday for like 30 minutes. I was like, why isn't this working? I realized I forgot an I. Just a singular I in one spot. Problem is I want it to path to a specific. Like I want it to look for, well, that'd probably have to be cursive. We can buy while you do some work yourself. Hopefully it goes well. Thank you for the alert. They go soon. I guess what it. Oh, it would be. Oh, I know what it is. Like I needed to use the path to join. Yeah, it would have to be. Okay, and then from there it should be empty, but this should work. Why did I do that? I shouldn't have done anything? I'm confused and afraid. It printed the directory. Put a test file in here just. Oh, I did it again? Why is it printing like? Oh, it's stuck in a loop. Wait, no, it's not. No, it keeps. Why is it printing like that? Hmm. It worked before. No, it's printing like that. Oh, it's still on the join thing. Oh, that's why. I understand why. Need to update path again. Files equals. Oh, that's why I was messing up. Okay. Please join path with center. Boom. Okay. So that then does the test.text. All right, so we figured that out. How do I incorporate that over here? Ba, 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 bum. Could I just consolidate these two? Okay, yeah, that works. Ah, that's even better. Are braining our way along, slowly but surely. Okay, so I like how that I kind of like spun that off. That's for a different function. Requirement for your time to shine will come later, and you're gonna cause another probably 30 years worth of problems. I just realized the problem. And the I check the right directory. Yeah, it's gonna check like the directory that it's in, and not the other one. Like what I'm gonna want it to check, dinnerless. Like 70. Well, technically like 60s. Alright, path choice. I now understand. Makes sense. I guess I'd have to do Do we come over here? This works though. I'm expecting it to work, which 7 times out of 10 it doesn't. We'll see if this is the Yeah, I didn't put it where I was expecting it. Okay, there we go. I have to use the path for it then. Because it'll take the very, very last name and then make it text file. So then to incorporate that over here, path already exists. The path returns the list name. Yeah, the tricky part there is remembering that the path is what it'll check. Because I think like by default, even if I'm like me who deals a lot with like computers and files and stuff, it's like I'm expecting have the name by itself, but it needs to be the path. Like it's this is like just straight stuff. Like, do you want to check if this file exists through command line? Well, you better know the path to get there, or else you're gonna have a bad time. I think honestly that's it for the directory and the new list functions. Like I said, I was gonna like stop after 3 hours, but now like I've now things have made sense and the train is chugging along. All right, so we made a function for make a function using a new then makes the directory. That was next on the list. We had make a function for if the user wants add more than one item to the list, make code to double check the input is what they meant to write, make function to check if the input is an integer for date entry. Followed by make a function to delete a file, make code able to delete a specific. The specific string one I feel like is going to be a bit of a doozy. The delete a file one's not like too hard. It's kind of like a different take on new list. Because all it would all it would be is well, it'd give the I'd probably like make a function to list like the files in that specific spot, and then after that it would the user could then um decide which like put in the specific file name that they would want to delete and then have it repeat, right? So it would be like runs the function goes uh would you like a list of would you like to see the list available? If yes, takes the goes to the directory, shows you a list of the files in there. If no, uh, would go to would just go straight to asking like what the file name is, and then would go look for the file name. Well, it would check if the file exists. If it exists, it would delete it, and then it would ask you if you want to delete another. So that would probably be in a while loop. Um, it would then ask you if you wanted to delete another list, which if you said yes, it would then just repeat. And then if said no, then it would, break and end the code. And then if it doesn't exist, it would tell you that file name either doesn't exist or name is wrong. And then re-ask you if you would like to see a directory, like see what lists are available, and then ask if you would like to try again. I guess I could just make it loop. Right. So just like if it'll just be like wrong loops again, then it asks you again, do you want to check the file? Like, what lists are available? No. Do you then it goes back. That's probably how I would do that. Let's do a function for just making a list of the directory. Accidentally grabbed like the path equals twice. So basically what this should do, which we'll test it later, is it'll ask you if you'd like to see a list of the, and this will be used more than once because it'll be offered more than once. Like the big thing would be for both deletion and just at the beginning, or like if you would just like to check for lists, right? Would be two times at the very least. That'd be a minimum of twice, like two instances where you would want like a list of the files that are available that you've made. So that's definitely a function that's going to see more than one use. The new list is just to make it easier. After doing a little bit of research, I realized that it really just doesn't hurt just to get in the habit of just making functions for things instead of just making this really, really long block of code, even for stuff you're just going to use once. Because that way, when you go to like fix it and mess with it, it's not shifting a bunch of things around, and you can kind of like break it up. Not to mention that it kind of just makes it a little nicer to read through and check things out. Not to mention when you're writing it, it makes it a hell of a lot easier to just write it out once. Like for instance, if I had to I'd have to write this out like twice just to do this, and then I'd have to comment like what it does twice, and I'm okay. I'm okay. As soon as I found out that functions and stuff like what they're good for, I'm like, that's gonna be me. I'm gonna be the function guy. I'm gonna put functions on everything. Oh, we already did this. Yeah, we don't need the else because if the answer is not new, then first of all, it's not even going to trigger this, and second of all, it's just do whatever it wants to do. We'll just move on to the next one. All right, so this one is if answer equals new, it'll ask you what month is it, what year is it. It'll make a list name with that. So then import OS. It'll make a path based off of where the program is. Well, it'll first go to the directory. Like it'll pull in the directory function. The directory function will check if there's a directory called dinner list. Or I guess it doesn't have to be dinner list. It could be like food lists or whatever. Meal list. I like that one. And then what it'll do is it'll check if something called meal list exists. If it does exist, it will just return the new so that way it can continue. If it doesn't exist, it will make the directory dinner list and then continue on it. and then it'll go back, and then it'll go answer is new. Month will ask you what month is it, which you'll put what month it is. It'll then ask you what year is it, put what year it is. It'll then combine those together to be a file name for month, year. So for instance, if you did it for this month, it would be December 2024. It'll then import the operating system. The path would then be the current directory. It'll path join the current directory with folder name, meal list, and list name, and then it'll check if that exists. If it exists, it will tell you a list with that name already exists. And if it doesn't exist, it will then create the list and then return the list name. Because then down here, with the return of the list name, because you made the new list, so obviously you would want to like write into it, which we would then have it, well, you would make the list name, and then it would be, it would go into blah, 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 path, list name, blah, 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 open, path, which will have the list name in it, with an A, because I don't want it to rewrite whatever's in there. It's like new. I just want to like it's probably just going to be a case of just using A, just because I don't want it to like rewrite stuff on accident. Because since I'm already making it and then closing it, uh, when it calls in the function to write to the file, it'll just be the function I use repeatedly for that. Like that one will be used for writing on a file that's technically new, quote unquote. Not really new because it's already you made it earlier, but it'll be for if you want to add to a list. So again, I at least 2 instances where that's going to get used. So make it a function. It'll like, to be honest, it'll probably be a couple times it gets called. It'll be because like if I let you like delete something from a list specifically, it'll then ask you if you would like to add to the list or close out, and then you can continue there. What? Honestly, I don't even think I need like this part. I'll need the directory with the answer, right? But I'm pretty sure the rest of this will just run just fine without the if. I'll leave it there commented out just in case. Delete a file, delete. only like 30 minutes left, so at this point I'm probably gonna try to like code a little less and just try to think about what I want it to do so I can write it down so I can remember. Make function for if the user wants to add more than one item to the list. Make code to double check if the input is meant to write. Make a function to check if the input is an integer. Date entry. Make a function to delete a file. Be able to delete a specific one. We have function for user if they want to add more than one item. Function for to double check if the input is what the user meant to put in. Function to check if the input is an integer for date entry. Function to delete a file, function to delete a specific string, and function to add string to file. Is there anything else I wanted to do? I already made the function for the directory list. I don't have to write that down. Hmm. I think that's every. No, I need it to. Hey. Like the most, probably like one of the more important things. What else? I need to make sure to remember to make I need to make sure to add the syntax so that it'll make a new line in between each like new string input that it writes to the file. So that way it doesn't have the issue where the other one where, you know, it put hello and then hello with no space in between. Like I should have written that properly so that way when it does hello, it makes a new space. So that way the second hello would have been underneath it. I kind of forgot to do that when I was testing it. I'll just write it down to make sure. As it kind of defeats the purpose if it's just like date space food and then like next date just smushed on. It's just this one long line. And then you go back and you're like, all right, show me what I've saved. And it just shows you this one long line of like numbers with random words in it. And then you're just like, this dumb bear. Never making him do a program ever again. Can't believe this. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers it pretty good for at least the goals that I want for that I can think of right now. Because the next step is learning how to package it. Make function for user one item to the list to make sure to add a syntax. A new line between each new function to double check if the input is what the user meant to. Integer for date. Delete a file. String. Add string to a file. Read file. Okay, so in 4 hours we went from nothing to this, but a lot of it was like kind of testing, doing stuff because this is something I'm literally just learning from scratch. Like I don't know if I don't think the course, the either of the courses looking at covers any of this at all whatsoever. Maybe the MOOC one might because it just randomly taught me like the file or the find method, which they didn't do in the MIT courseware one. Probably definitely have to look through this again and refine it and remove things, stuff like that. List would you continue from? Or it'd probably be like, what list would you like to check? Yeah, this is one where it would be this. Okay, yeah, never mind. Okay, I stand by what I said that I this project's definitely probably not going to take anywhere near as long as the calculator did, just because it has a lot less moving parts, regards of numbers and stuff like that. It has moving parts in the aspect of, I had to make sure, like, understand how to set up a file path to make Python know where to look for what it needs, and just continue from there. But once I understood that, it was actually pretty easy. Once like my brain figured like understood how the path and path dot join works, definitely made it a lot simpler. Well, not necessarily simpler, but made it a lot more like I understood how it was working. My posture is so bad. uh I don't know, I can never say with proper posture. I'm either like crimped up or I'm just like at an angle with like the top of my back against the back of the chair. But I'm like I rarely sit still unless I'm like hard focused. Like usually if I'm typing, I'm kind of like leaned in, and then if I'm not typing, I'm like angled against the chair, just resting while thinking, and then just back and forth continuously, just changing my seating position, crossed legs, not crossed legs, one leg up, one leg down. I need to rewrite these. I need to remember all these are case sensitive. I have to make sure that when I write the strings that are static, they are where they're gonna be. To be honest, I probably should lowercase the month. Let's not lower. Might not look the best, but it'll make it better for uh well It might not look at the best, but it'll make it easier for just making sure everything is. It makes for less hiccups, right? Because, like, for instance, if the person decides to capitalize like the J in January, but then randomly decides not to capitalize the J in January when they make a new list again, or like say they make a list on January the 2nd, and then it's like January the 22nd, and they don't remember if they made a list or not, and so then the second time they make the list, they put it in lowercase. You know, they don't put the uppercase J for whatever reason. Uh, it it'll run it. Like it'll still make the new list, and then it doubled it. Yeah, I should just make a function to make sure. Yeah, I'll make a function alongside like the number check function from before. I'll do another function which will be similar to the element one from the calculator, where it'll check if they fully wrote out the word for the month, and then if it doesn't, it'll just be like, please input the, it'll just be a while loop that while the month does not equal or is not in the list, it'll just ask you to like write the full month out, just because it'll be easier that way. Again, just for simplicity's sake. What piece always got you 2 chapters in a row? They were bubbling up. But then it cut away from this stuff causing happy tears to come up. They knew. They knew. They knew the pacing. They're like, we'll get them. They'll think, and then wow, cut them. And then the third chapter in a row. The third chapter in a row is where they'll make it come out in full force. But it's still wild to me that One Piece is still going strong. That shit is crazy. But it's also funny because it's why I'll see people be like, One Piece is pretty good, and they'll be like, yeah, I'm not touching that. I'm like, why not? They're like, bro, that shit's so long. I'm like, I'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right, what else do we want this? So function, like the number. That one's pretty easy. I'm just gonna copy and paste it from the previous from the calculator, because that just takes the number check function just to check if it's numeric. I'll basically probably just copy and paste the element one and then just change the stuff. Probably be easier than just writing it all out again. What else? Those are 2 pretty easy imports. So delete a specific file I have to practice on the side. I kind of do what I did today, where I like had this tab open and I was just testing on it. Just read it, you cowards. God damn it. True. Read a chapter a day, you'll be good to go. At least a minimum, you'll catch up by like 2042. Yeah, I don't know. For me, One Piece, it's like I'll stop reading it for a while and then I'll forget what chapter I left off, and then I'm like too lazy to go back. But then I don't really care about spoilers. I'll see like the, what is it, the Loki giant spoiler. I was like, oh, that's cool. Carries on. It's like, all right, sick. I'll probably forget it by the time I start reading it again. Chapter day. Exactly, but you see, then because you see the problem though is when you're trying to catch up to a manga or a manhwa that already exists, that already has like a good number of chapters. Obviously, One Piece is a bit egregious on its number of chapters, but I digress. You need a pace so that way your brain doesn't hit that shock of constantly having content to read, all of a sudden having to wait, because that shock hits hard. It's hard. Makes me sit in a corner and cry. I'd be like, but my reading, my reading. And so, you know, it's just, you got to give them something like a chapter a day, maybe 2 chapters a day, something to chip away at it so that way they have a constant stream for a while. As they get closer to getting caught up, they're not like, you know, you go from like, man, I was reading like 1 to 2 chapters a day to now I only read 1 chapter a week or so. Not that big of a shock to the system, you know, it kind of gets them into it. Also, it's like the, what is it? The frog in the water thing, right? You start them off with like 1 to 2 chapters. Doesn't mean they have to stay at 1 to 2 chapters. You know, they'll be like, all right, I'll read a chapter a day. Then they get hooked. But by then it's too late. They're already boiled. They're already frog legged up on the plate. It's too late. They can't escape. So you have to have these like diabolical tactics when you're trying to get people into something like One Piece. You know? Also kind of just depends on the person. I know someone who they got into One Piece relatively recently, like I think like a year or 2 ago, and they really don't like spoilers. And I'm like, man, you chose a really hard series to get into if you don't like spoilers. One Piece has a lot of people that are like, it's been 10 years, don't care. And then sometimes like, you know, you'll have other people like me who I'll forget. And that's just like, you'll just say something in passing and they'll be like, what? I'll be like, nothing. I don't say anything. I don't know what you're talking about. You're hearing things. You need to go to the doctor. See, so you know, it's like it's just how it goes, right? It's like how I'll get people into like free to play games. Like I'll play a game that's free that I like. I'll try to be like, hey, let's play a game. I'll play 1 2 games. See if you like it. You'll play 1 2 games. See if you like it. Slowly but surely, drawing them in closer to the trap. And then when they're fully addicted, I'm like, I'm done playing that game. You missed it. You missed the wave. I was addicted to it. Tried to get you into it. You were too slow. Now you in it. I'm out. Peace. You know what's one that I haven't checked? Because, you know, main author passed away and they didn't really have much of a manuscript left. Berserk. I haven't kept up with how that's doing. I don't know if they kept up their plans. I know originally they had talked about that they weren't. I think it was like originally they weren't going to continue it, but then they were like, well, he had some things left, and they were going to try to like use that. And since they was like the people that had been working on it like forever, they were going to see if they could continue it in the same spirit. All right, my brain's like fully dead. Like I can't even focus on this at all whatsoever. So we're just gonna wrap it up for stream here. For the day stream. Well, for stream in general, I'm not gonna stream tonight. I'm gonna take the night time off. So we'll call it good there. I think what manuscripts he left, but I have no idea if they caught up to that after not. Yeah, I haven't even checked. I think the last like unfortunate like the unfortunate thing for avid readers is that the where it got like, you know, where he passed away was at a spot that it was kind of like this is kind of important to continue. You know, this is a kind of a bad spot to just kind of be like, yeah, we're done with the story because unfortunately the guy passed away. You know, just saying. It's a bit of a rough spot. Unfortunately, you know, also unfortunate man passed away. Kind of sad, but it's like It's like a bit of a double, almost triple whammy. Like, you know. We gotta say hi to Rook. That bum is playing Zenless. I'm probably gonna go eat food because I'm hungry and kind of dead. So thank you everybody for watching. Like always, here's the Discord if anybody would like to hop in. Mostly just use it just to say when I go live, though sometimes you'll see me ranting in the gotcha sections. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. I do appreciate it. This honestly, we got farther in this than I was expecting. I was expecting this to take a little longer, but we kind of have like the framework down. All that's left is learning the ins and outs and then packaging it and then going over and seeing if I dummy proofed it enough for my mother. Not to say that my mother's a dummy, but she's not exactly very computer literate. So if I didn't do it good enough for her to be able to use it easily, I'm gonna have to like revisit it. But if it is a day for you, I hope you have a good day. If it was a day for you, hope you as well. Stay safe, stay hydrated. I'll see y'all in the next one on Monday. Have a good weekend. Oh, bye bye.